How's it going, Dave from Comic Book Investments? So, got a ton of stuff back, not in terms of quality or quantity, but quality. This stuff is probably like well over 100 grand worth of stuff just right here. This small little stack of stuff. I got some pretty cool books that I rarely ever, if at all, have ever gotten before. It's very cool. Auction is finally done. It was very successful. Thank you for everyone that participated, whether you were a consigner or you bid. Got through the first week of shipping. Pretty much most things are paid for, so we do payouts. I think it'd be normally Friday, but Friday we have off for Thanksgiving, so we're taking Thursday, Friday off. So it'll be that Monday. I think maybe it's 2 weeks from the Monday. I don't know. It's on the thing. I can't remember if it's Friday or Monday that we start paying people out. So a lot of people expect your money to start coming in. Also, hopefully by next quarterly auction, we will have a different payout system and we'll be able to pay you out much faster. Right now, it's basically a 2-week window from when the auction ends to when we pay out. But hopefully, we're going to get that down to within a day or two. So very quick, quicker than anyone else. I've sold some stuff through Heritage, and it's like a 3-month turnaround time to finally get paid. And that's pretty much how most auction houses are. Very slow. And so we're going to speed that up. So it'll be pretty much within a few days. Hopefully, we're testing that stuff right now. Hopefully, it's ready for next auction, but can't make any promises. You know how things go. You never know what bugs we're going to run into and things don't work right. So, yes. So we're going to have like a whole, and also checking out is going to be a whole new system as well. Getting rid of most of those fees unless you opt into paying those fees. Like we have, like PayPal fee and stuff like that. We're going to have an ACH transfer so you can avoid the PayPal fees and it'll just be simpler. Everything will be simpler, faster, and better. Hopefully we'll have that up by next auction. So if you want to consign to our next auction, go ahead and just start sending your stuff in now. I've tried to explain this to people before. A lot of people are like, I'm going to wait till the very end, to the deadline. I'm like, well, you can do that, but then you miss out on a lot of marketing. So it's better to get your stuff in early because then when we start sending out marketing emails, things like that have come in, your books will be showcased up there. All right, first up is we got an all-flash number 1 in a 6.5. Let me make sure I can. There we go. With this nice new camera, you get better, less glare. I don't know. Maybe you can see the glare in higher definition. All flash number 1 came back great. I was hoping for $6 grand. This book coming up here pretty soon blew both me and my brother away. Unfortunately, I'll tell you the unfortunate part, but it's not unfortunate. It's unfortunate for us, but not unfortunate for whoever the book belongs to. Okay. All winners number 9 came back great. I wanted $6 grand as well. Like a lot of good Golden Age stuff in here. We also got this Spider-Man 14. First appearance of the Green Goblin. And a 7.0. Very nice grade for this book. $4 grand. I thought this book was going to be a 6.0, 6.5. So I will say this set right here of stuff we got back from CGC was pretty good. I got a lot of good grades. Very happy with the grades. One book beyond good. One book beyond. And then one book actually not so good. So we're resetting that. It was an A of 15. We were hoping for a much better grade, and it got a 4.0. So we're going to try that one again. I don't know why they gave it. But, it worked out for this book right here. It was the opposite. This one's the opposite. Now, this book, Captain America number 3. This is a classic Red Skull cover. He's on there tying Bucky. And it is Stan Lee's first work at Timely, which was Marvel. And he had a writing in there. Look at this. A 6.5. Now, here is the crazy part. Now, it's very beneficial for the person who owns this book. Now, I'll tell you what happened. So, me and my brother graded this. And we thought anywhere from like maybe a 4.5. That's what we kind of thought. Maybe it could get a 5.0. That's kind of like where we were sitting on this book. Both of us around that thing. Gets a 6.5. Now, this book doesn't belong to us. This book belonged to a consigner who sent it to us and wanted us to send it. And also wanted us to press and clean it. So we do press and clean here. And if you want that service, we can do that for you. So here is our stipulations. We are cheaper than CGC. So just go to CGC's website. We will be cheaper than that to press and clean your book. We will press and clean. Now, we will do it, but if it doesn't make sense to do it, then we will recommend. We always give our recommendations. You just tell us what to do. So we will do that for you for a fee, and then we send it off. Once we send it off, though, there is kind of like this, hey, you're gonna sell it through us, though. So it comes back to us. We then list it for sale either in the marketplace, or if it doesn't move or something, we'll put it in the auction, the next upcoming featured auction. So that's kind of the stipulation if you want us to do that service. Now, we thought the original person that owns this, or the current owner, he thought this was also about a 4045. We thought after we can press and clean it, we thought we could get up to a 4550. Gets a 6.5. So, wow, we were totally blown away. It was very good news to give to. I mean, it looked really, really nice. It does look really, really nice. We made it look really, really nice. So we're just very surprised. It looks a very, very nice book, but I'm just surprised. And so we're gonna list this for $46,000. This will be up in the marketplace, and yeah. So if that's a service that you guys want us to do, we will do that. So if you are a customer of ours and you want to sell, and that's why the stipulation of like, hey, you're going to have to sell it through us. That's kind of the stipulation of doing it. And we're like, well, if we have that stipulation, then it will, get us more business for our auction sites and our buy now section, our marketplace. And it's a little thing of like, we'll do this. We're also, cheaper than CGC. We made sure we undercutted them on every single tier. So it will be cheaper. But yeah, the stipulation is you have to sell through us. So if you're fine with that stipulation, then we will press and clean your book, whatever you want. Detective 140, first appearance Riddler. Wow, look at this. This is gold, spinning gold here. Grade unwanted, 8,800. I know a lot of people have always asked me that, like, do you press and clean? And I always say yes, but only if it makes sense. So, Fantasy 4, number 4. So not every book, even books we send to CGC, we don't always press and clean them. It really has to make sense. And like, for example, this one person came in and he's a customer of ours. And he's like, yeah, he gave me a bunch of books. And he's like, will you press and clean these? And I looked at him like, I was like, of the 4, I was like, only one of them I would recommend, because even if we press and clean, it's not going to do anything. A lot of people have this notion where that just because you press and clean it, it's instantly going to make it better and you're going to get a better grade. No, that's not how it works. Every book is individualized. There are lots of books that we don't even touch because it would do nothing. It wouldn't add any value. So I was like, we don't recommend doing it. And most people always take our recommendation. Now, if you don't, there are some people that don't, and they say, just do it anyways. And we're like, okay. But yeah. What is this book? Oh, First Celebrated Submariner. Came back grade unwanted, $38.99. Then we got 2 of these books. Unfortunately, they're in the same grade. I wish they were different grades. Turn that 3 into 8. There we go, an 8. $52.99. This one, one of them, I think it was this one, I thought would be a 2.5, came back a 3.0, and this one I thought would be a 3.5 and came back a 3.0. So literally win some, lose some, ends up working out the same. $52.99. That's what they are. House of Secrets. First Swampy. Swampalomp. Cool cover. Bernie Wrightson. Came out grade unwanted. $19.99. Yes. $2,000. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I can fit it in between. First appearance of Wolverine. Thought it'd be 7.5, got an 8.0, so good there. $45.99. So I was like thinking about this when I was pricing this one out. I was like, have we already sold all of the Hulk 181s we had? And we have. Remember how I had I had like 50 or something. I can't remember anymore. Maybe 30. I don't even remember. Whatever the number was that I had, they're all gone, all sold. What did I sell them within like 6 months? Yeah. So, Master Comics 29, pretty rare book. Thought it'd be a 6.5, got a 6.0, 8,600. This book is great. This one worked out fantastic for us. So this one, we thought it was going to be a 5.0, got a 6.0. So that is fantastic. Fantastic news. $12,999. So 13 grand for Superman 3. Yeah. I was just looking at the art. I like looking at the art, especially like old ones. Here we go. Here's a Matt Baker. These books are extremely rare, and if you have one in Matt Baker, they're extremely expensive. Teenage Romances, number 6.5. This is second highest grade, 5 grand, and came back grade I wanted. So the thing with Matt Baker is, I believe he is the first African American comic book artist. He is also the first gay artist, comic book artist. And also, yes, so Matt Baker, that was the thing with Matt Baker, is he drew the female form so well. He drew like, you ever seen that cover where Phantom Lady's like this and her boobs are like basically hanging out? He drew her. I'm hoping I'm getting these artists not mixed up with it, but he drew her, and those covers are fantastically drawn, but worth very, very much. A lot of people love his covers. And he came in, I believe he was like 18 or 19 years old. He came into a studio trying to get a job. He was a teenager. I don't remember the exact age, but young. And he just had like a little drawing of a girl they drew. He showed it to, because they called them packers, and packers are basically like a studio would be today. And these studios would just get work from maybe Marvel or DC, usually like more smaller companies, not Marvel, DC, but smaller ones like St. John's. And they were like, here, draw us a comic about this. And then the studio would do it. So he went to the studio, and the guy said, this is the best looking female drawing of like a female character that I've ever seen, and came from this young artist. So he was very talented at a young age. Unfortunately, he had a heart condition and he died at 37. So that makes his covers even more rare, because he's not one of these artists that, you know, has existed for a long time and just had cover after cover after cover after cover. So very limited amount of covers that he has, but a fantastic artist, especially the female form. So anytime a Matt Baker book pops up, it adds a premium to it, especially if it's a Phantom Lady Matt Baker. So fantastic artist, great artist. Unfortunately, he had a heart condition. I don't know exactly what his heart condition was. He died in like, I want to say the like 50s. And a lot of artists that during this time, like during like the 50s, there's a lull in comic books. Comic books kind of like started falling off after World War II, and it's kind of like disintegrated next to like nothing by like, especially superheroes, by like 1950. It wasn't until the resurgence of the Silver Age with Showcase 4 that superheroes came back. So they kind of started falling out of fashion. You got Western and romance stuff that kind of were doing okay, and then some like sci-fi horror stuff that did some okay. But a lot of artists, there wasn't as much money in it, so they left and they became commercial artists. And so some of these old Golden Age artists really didn't. It wasn't like when Neil Adams got it, he was able to do comics in his entire career. There's a point, if you were a Golden Age artist, that the comics kind of like dried up, and so you had to switch careers. So a lot of them went into commercial art. So, yeah, unfortunate for comic book artists during this time. But he, unfortunately, did not make it that far. Top Notch Comics number 22. Now, the cool thing about this book, this is Archie's first appearance. So Archie's first appearance was in Pep Comics 22. But this predates Pep Comics number 2, but it has him in an advertisement. So it's sort of like Gobbledygook with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So the first appearance of Turtles is actually Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1, but Gobbledygook 1 and 2 were kind of their first appearance because they had a big advertisement of them. So this is actually quite rare, and there's not that many of them, especially MLJ. There just really is not a lot of copies. So it's not, you can pick out a book like this, and there's not going to be hundreds on the census. There will be very, very few, and a lot of them are always in bad shape. So this is a 3.0. I thought it was 3.0. I've got 3.5. Got a 3.0. 10 grand for that book. This book, unfortunately, did not fare well. Wonder Woman number 3. I thought it was going to be a 3.0. Got a 1.8. 2 grand. Wonder World Comics number 12. This is Lou Fine, right? Yep, Lou Fine. I can always tell Lou Fine. Great artist. Has very distinct style. I love that about artists. Just art in general. That you're so good that you have your own style that as soon as you see it, you can tell exactly who it is. Even if it's a musician, as soon as you listen to him, just like the few chords, not them singing, just like how the song is constructed, it's like, yep, this is a so-and-so. Love that. That is the key of being a great artist. What am I looking at? 12. Came back Gray wanted 4 grand. So a lot of Golden Age. Here's a Silver Age for you. X-Men number 1. Thought it'd be 4 to 4.5. 9,600. And then this one was really good. This one came back a good grade. Young Allies number 1. Bucky's punching the Red Skull and Hitler in one blow. So he's twice as good as Captain America. Captain America was just punching Hitler. He's punching both of them one blow. Well, it looks like he punched Red Skull and Red Skull fell into Hitler. And then there's a bunch of... So it's funny because in Captain America comics, Bucky's always getting captured and tied up somehow and tortured, and Captain America has to save him. So then they're like, oh, sidekicks, they're all the rave. You know, like, ooh, sidekicks. And they're like, oh, let's... So Young Allies, if I can remember this correctly, is the first team up. Like, first team in Marvel Comics. It might be even the first team. No, not the first team. But the first... I'm pretty sure it's the Marvel's first team. And not only that, it's also the very first in comics team of sidekicks. I don't even think they've done that recently. I guess the Teen Titans. Teen Titans would be that. But, yeah, so this is the first in all of comics team up of sidekicks. And this is Marvel's first team. And so they're like, well, we love having kids getting captured and tortured and tied up. So how are we going to have sidekicks? So they gave him sidekicks. Toro, which is the Human Torch's sidekick, and Bucky, they gave them sidekicks. And so basically they just get tied up and... I don't know. Yeah. So I thought it'd be 6.5, got 7.5. So happy there. 13,000 for this one. So lots of good stuff. Look at that. Perfect. Perfectly made sack. So this will all be on collectorscomics.com. You can go check it out. And yeah, if you want to get signed for the next featured auction. That'll be in 3 months from now, which will be, as if we had in November, so February. So our next one will be in February. And we also have weekly auctions. So if it's stuff that you want to turn around faster or is not, you don't really care to wait for a featured auction, we can put it in a weekly auction. Have a great day.